Today is Memorial Day, when we're to remember our soldiers who have given their lives for our freedom to protect the United States of America. During this week, I want us to consider some memorials that are in the Bible that God would have us to remember. Good morning. This is Pastor Ernie Lewis of the Blue Point Church in Sisney, Illinois, with your thoughts for Monday. You know, there have been some grand miracles and great works of God that are remembered in the history of the Word of God, and God has called for His people to set up a monument for that. One of these instances came in Joshua chapter 4 when the Israelites entered into the promised land under Joshua as their leader. God parted the waters of the Jordan River for His people to be able to pass over when the priests brought the ark to the river and stepped into the rushing waters. Now, this is no small miracle of God, and He wanted His people to remember this mighty act. So He says in Joshua chapter 4 and verse 5, Joshua called the 12 men whom he had appointed from the children of Israel, one from every tribe, and Joshua said to them, "Cross over before the ark of the Lord your God into the midst of the Jordan, and each one of you take up a stone on his shoulder, according to the number of the tribes of the children of Israel, that this may be a sign among you, when your children ask from time to come, saying, 'What do these stones mean to you?' Then you shall answer them that the waters of the Jordan were cut off before the ark of the covenant of the Lord. When it crosses over the Jordan, the waters of the Jordan were cut off. And these stones shall be for a memorial to the children of Israel forever." Now, this is the same nation for whom God had parted the Red Sea some 40 years before that and allowed them to cross on dry land to be delivered from Pharaoh and the army of Egypt. Now, will they remember His miraculous entrance into the promised land? It seemed like they had forgotten about His care for them when they ran from the Pharaoh's army. Now, Joshua had 12 men, one from every tribe, carry a large stone to place it in the dry bed of the Jordan River after they had crossed, and to make there a monument to God's faithfulness and His great might working on their behalf. He said, "When your children shall ask, 'What is that pile of rocks for?' you can answer them, 'This is a monument, a reminder. This is a memorial of how God cares for those who obey Him and follow His leading.'" You know, we need some memorials today in our lives, memorials of God's great power and His might, His work, His acts in our lives. We need a reminder, something that we can share with the next generation, that our God is faithful and our God is powerful and able. These stones would maybe look strange out in the middle of the Jordan River in the years to come, but they would cause people to question, what is that for? What does that mean? And God says, you must remember how God has cared for you in times of distress so that you will trust in Him. Maybe we today need some altars, some memorials, maybe some stories of God's faithfulness to us that we can share with the next generation so that they may not forget how powerful our God is.